Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Hey everyone, an MLB insider has just dropped a major Blue Jays trade update, and following Eric Lauer expressing his frustration about losing his starting rotation spot last year, a new report has revealed some very interesting information surrounding not only his future with the team, but specifically a trade involving another American League team. We're going to break down this new report and discuss what it means going forward. Plus, we have comments from Jose Berrios following his first spring training game that didn't go as planned, as well as updates from John Schneider, Eloy Jimenez, and Kazuma Okamoto shining in his second game of spring. You're going to want to stay tuned because there's a lot of important stuff here as we inch closer to opening day. MLB insider Mitch Bannon dropped an article with some very interesting news. So often these situations work themselves out. He's referring to Eric Lauer being upset about not being in the rotation. The Jays could begin the season with a six-man rotation, though that probably won't happen. Or another starter could get hurt, especially if the Jays sign another starter like Max Scherzer. The difference of opinion between Eric Lauer and the front office could end up in a trade, but he goes on to say that for the most part, Lauer and Schneider are saying the right things. Behind the scenes, Lauer is currently stretching out as a starter, and they'll deal with things at the end of March. But if Toronto's biggest problem is too many starters, a trade may bring a solution. If spring continues to progress and Lauer remains unhappy, which is what we've been talking about, right? Eric Lauer's not super happy, but is going to keep fighting through it because he wants to be a starter at the big league level. Then Mitch Bannon drops this tidbit. If Lauer does want a guaranteed role, which he does, there should be a pitching-needy team out there willing to trade for starting pitching, especially one of Eric Lauer's caliber, who just lost his arbitration case against the Jays. So he's only making $4.4 million instead of over $5.5. He names the Minnesota Twins and the Atlanta Braves as suitable fits because they've already suffered a couple of pitching injuries. And if the Jays go ahead and sign Max Scherzer, it makes Lauer's path even cloudier. Two things are true. The Jays covet his flexibility, and he wants to start. This got me thinking. It seems pretty obvious that if they sign Max Scherzer, one starter is going to be gone, whether that's Berrios or Eric Lauer, and Lauer makes a little more sense to trade since he makes less money. Bannon names the Twins who are dealing with starting pitching issues. What kind of names would make sense for the Jays? What are they looking for? Some rumblings have started to fly around about the Jays looking to trade for a reliever specifically, and there's been a couple names that have come up. Looking at the Twins roster, there's Cody Stashak, who last year put up a 3.51 ERA in 39 games. He's only 29 years old. The Twins are definitely willing to move him because they might cut him from the opening day roster because of their surplus of lefties. Someone like this doesn't jump off the page. I don't think this would be enough for Lauer, maybe him and a prospect. But if you're the Jays, you need a player that helps you win now because Eric Lauer is going to help you win now if injuries come up or anything like that. You need to get a pretty good relief arm, or maybe a bat that mashes lefties. You can't give Eric Lauer up for nothing. There's another name, Justin Topa. He's 34, but coming off a really good year with a 3.9 ERA in 54 games. He had 4 saves and was a late inning guy. I'm not saying the Twins want to give him up necessarily, but if they're in desperate need of starting pitching, the Jays could look at someone like this who's been a pretty good reliever for 2 or 3 years now. You look at 2023, really good year. This past year, very solid year, someone who can eat some innings and give you another back-end bullpen guy because their current bullpen isn't the best. Obviously, it's not bad. It's pretty good in theory with Jeff Hoffman, Jimmy Garcia, Luis Frias, but you still need that one more punch. As you start to look at teams like the Twins, the Jays are trying to win now, and I think getting a bullpen arm makes the most sense, but you've got to make sure not to sell too low on Eric Lauer. If he requests a trade, which doesn't really happen in baseball, but this is as close as we're going to get to it, then maybe your value will be a little bit lower with less leverage, but it's going to be interesting to see. With Jose Berrios now feeling healthier than ever, it opens the door, especially if they get Max Scherzer, which I still believe they will. It opens up a door for the Eric Lauer trade, which can get you another asset. Mitch Bannon linking the Twins and the Braves as potential fits for Eric Lauer is very intriguing to me, and one that I think makes a lot of sense. Speaking of starting pitching, Jose Berrios said he felt pretty healthy and strong during his first outing of spring, where he went 2 2/3 innings and gave up a couple runs. His velocity was down to 90 because it was freezing cold. But he said, honestly, last year at this time, he already had doubt in his mind about his elbow. After his outing yesterday, he said this time last year he already had doubts with his health. He pitched through what he learned in September was a bicep tendon issue. Now he's back at 100%. You look at his stats last year, they kind of reflect that with a 4.17 ERA. He had some good runs, had some bad runs, gave up a ton of home runs, the 14th most in baseball. It's going to be interesting to see how Berrios does as we look down the stretch of spring training to see specifically what we're going to get, because my expectations are pretty low. But if Berrios is healthy and good to go, once again, it makes Lauer a little more expendable. Let's give it up for Kazuma Okamoto. He hit an absolute laser to center field, 431 feet, and said he's glad he got the first one out of the way. Seeing his teammates' reaction made him want to hit more. This guy is an absolute stud, and I'd be very surprised if he doesn't have a fantastic year. The way his swing looks, he exudes confidence. He's developed a friendship with Vlad and George Springer, according to reports, and you love to see it. This man has a sweet swing. He can pull the ball, he can hit it to dead center, and I'm excited to see what he does and how he fits with this team. Eloy Jimenez got another hit yesterday, and John Schneider said he thinks Jimenez is really healthy for the first time in a lot of years and in tremendous shape. Get excited because Eloy Jimenez is making himself really known as the big leagues inch right around the corner. That's it for today.